Hi everyone. Hi Mom. I finished my book, almost. What I wanted to do is, Jamie, who is Poet Spice, asked me to show her how I figure out where I want to put my eyelets and using the crocodile. So I still have to put an eyelet on the back because this guy doesn't want to close, so I need a closure. So I'm going to be using a hairband. Let's see if it's dry. I alcohol inked it because it was white, and I'm just going to see if it's dry enough. Yep, it's dry enough. So yeah, if you've got, hairbands that are the wrong color, then you can just use alcohol ink on them to change them. Okay, so you can see I've done the hitch post already, and I am extremely scientific about this. Yeah, I don't measure. I eyeball everything. So what I do is I flip it over so I'm looking at it, and unfortunately you can't see what I'm looking at, but what I try and do is eyeball the center so that the eyelet lines up with the hitch post, which is fairly easy to do because you can actually see it, But this is what I wanted to show her. So the crocodile will do 3 different kinds of eyelets, and usually there's 2 that you use all the time. This is a fairly large eyelet, but it is also the same size. Let me grab them, I'll show you. These are We Are Memory Makers, or Keepers. Oh, wow, I say that wrong every time. I know that part looks different, like this is bigger, but you're going to use the same setting, because the other setting, if you take your eyelet and you put it in here, if it fits, then it works. If you turn it over and you try and get it in there, it won't go in that hole. So this isn't the side that you want. You want this side. So the first thing you're going to do is determine how deep you want to set your eyelet. I usually do about a 1/2 inch is pretty standard. You want to have it far enough away that it's not really going to interfere with the edge of your book. If you get it too close, you might not like the look of it. It's completely up to you though, really. So on the side here is you unscrew this and it slides. And so then that'll determine how deep in you want it. So if I put it, I don't know if you can see that. I know the light's shining on it, sorry. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, so you can see the measurements along the side there. So when you slide this, it changes the depth. And then when you get it determined where you want it, then you just tighten the screw. So I'm going to start, I'm going to try it here first. Also, the size of your eyelet will determine really where you want to set it. You'll see that these ones, they have a really large flat end. So if you lay that on your book and you want it, slightly away from the edge, if you hold it down and then you kind of slide this in and look, okay, that's not deep enough for that one. You're going to want to slide it in farther. That's kind of how I judge stuff. It's all eyeball for me. Nothing's very scientific, that's for sure. But I'm going to set it there to see. I'm going to put it in. And usually what I'll do is I'll open my book right up, and then I eyeball from the top. So, line of sight here. And let's see. Yeah, that's about where I want mine. And yeah. So I give it a squeeze and I create my hole. Now, generally, because this one is a fairly good size eyelet, I don't necessarily have to use this one, actually. I do have smaller ones. Let me grab a different one. Got them kind of mixed up in here. And this brown one will work. And you can see the difference. Okay, let's see on camera here. And there. Okay, let's telephoto in. You see there's a big difference. Okay. that's not brown. I want a brown one. So I'm going to use this one instead because I only want it for the eyelet. So, but even still, did I punch the right size? No, I didn't. That's why. That's why the hole's too small. So I just go back and I have to hold it up so I can see it, you guys. Hang on 1 second. There. Okay, so I've created my hole. And then I'm going to sink it in here. So you see, I've given myself a little bit. Oh, geez, no, you can't. Hang on. This book is a little big. Okay. So you can see that I've given myself a little space here, but I have overlapped my paper. I'm okay with that. That looks fine to me. And it's the back. What do I care? So then you take your Crop-A-Dile and you use this side. So this is the side that you want. And you're going to want the biggest one. Now on the little, you're not going to be able to see it. It's really hard to see even in the best of situations. But when you're looking at it, down in the corner here, there are down in the corner here, I better telephoto out. There. There are numbers and corresponding letters. So if it says 1, then you want A. If it says 2, you want B. I mean, makes sense, right? Now, I've already got mine set for the right setting. And this is the part that sticks up, this post here, is what goes over top of that. So lots of times I'll do it this way. And I'll put the eyelet on there, which means I have to flip my book over. Let's see if I can do this while you can see it. And then I put it in the hole. Now when I squeeze, you want to make sure, my hands are really tiny. So like, I have a hard time squeezing this thing. It's too big for my hand, really. So I just start it and do a light push. And then what I've done is, now I can see that all the teeth are separating in the right direction. They're not bent inside or anything. It's not warped. So once I've established that, I put it back in and then I give it a good squeeze. I have to do it two-handed because, like I said, I have small hands. So there you go. That's your eyelet. I hope that helps, Jamie. That's really how I do it. It's, you know, it's really not, it's not hard. And then with my hairband, sometimes I'll cut them and then melt the ends and then I tie a knot, which I probably will end up doing with this, but just for now, I'm going to do it this way. So you thread it in this way and you go from the inside to the outside, and that way your bump is sort of on the inside, and then that would just fold over. See, it's way too big, but I'll adjust it later. Okay, I just want to make sure that I am telephoto out enough to get the whole book in there. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so if you hadn't guessed, this is a Sherlock Holmes themed book. I've made it out of the Craftex. This download is from Dreamzetc, and I believe it's 2 separate kits, like a part 1, part 2 kind of deal, and also the ephemera kit that I bought from her. And I'm not sure if she still has a sale on, but she did have a sale on, so you might want to check her out. Dreams with a Z, ETC, it's all one word, at Etsy, on Etsy. Okay, so metal pieces that I painted. Sorry, I just had dinner and it's, yeah, with this, my favorite, my gold. So I painted the little, what do they call it, gear thing, the hitch post, and the metal pieces. And I also did a little bit of scrolling around front and back. I kind of, you know, just did a bunch of stuff. All of this bumpy stuff, if you can see that, that's the stuff. You know what it is. Embossing enamel, sorry. What else can I tell you? That's it. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Yeah, I didn't enforce it. I didn't enforce the spine this time. I thought I would try it, see what happened. I did corner round it. I did do some painting. I bought the new Prima paints. Not all of them, obviously, but yeah, these Art Alchemy paints. They are gorgeous, you guys. Absolutely love them. So I have them in several colors. So you'll see a lot more painting involved in my book covers. Okay, now this paper here is from Victoria Designs. That's also Etsy. The little stamp here is from the Tim Holtz. So I didn't dirty my finger this time, and that's what I did for Alicia's book. I put ink on my finger and made fingerprints. Discovered after I finished that I actually have a stamp that's a fingerprint. There you go. So I learned my lesson. Anyway, I used this new corner rounder, and I got this on eBay. It's a punch around. Makes a beautiful mat. But I really like the corner, and it is called Cherish. She was good enough to actually put the name of the punch set on there for me. And like I said, I got it at eBay. But I think I've seen them on Amazon. So there's a lot of stamping. It's not frou-frou. There's no doilies. There's no ribbon. There's no lace. There's nothing. It's just pretty straightforward. Some stamping. I added different size papers. Like these. This is also from Victoria Designs. I added some tracing paper. And I put washi on the corners. Now, if you want to do this, if you want to cut your tracing paper with, you know, your punches, my suggestion that worked great for me, and you take a piece of scrap paper and you lay it over top, lining it up, and then you punch through the scrap paper and it will punch through your tracing paper stuff. If you have onion paper, same deal. I did one of these flip-up corners that everybody's doing. I like it, and I wanted to use the cut-offs from the book. This is part of the ephemera pack. The Sherlock here is the Tim Holtz, those big alphas. They're all the same size, and I peeled them off because they're really thick chipboard. I didn't realize they were that thick when I bought them. So I just peeled them off, used them that way so I don't get a bunch of bulk. My new stamp set. Let me grab my book because I finished my project. I redid my whole stamp book, and this time I got smart and I wrote them down. That's the Paper Studio Flourish. Is these stamps. I used quite a few of them. More cut-offs that I just wanted to use up, and more writing space. From the ephemera pack, so is this, and then I put a piece, this is also Victoria Design, and I printed it on a tea stained piece of paper, and then I used my ripping tool, the ruler, more stamping. I love these stamps. I think they're really pretty. So then I created a pocket. I thought what I had done, it's kind of a funny story. Well, maybe not to you, but it was to me. Anyway, I have my spray bottle, you know, thinking that's my tea. Apparently it's not. It's, I don't know, something from Rangers that I had put in a spray bottle and watered down. So I had printed these off. This is actually a page from the story, the Red Herring. Is that what it says? No, the Red-Headed League. You can go online and you can actually download books for free. And so I just downloaded a couple of pages and I printed them off and thought, well, they make great ephemera. So I created it sort of a library pocket in a way. But that's where I used that new punch. And this is Victoria Designs. I thought it was appropriate since Sherlock Holmes was a scientist. So we've got specimen. And then I did some stamping and more stamping. These are index cards that I made. I saw Yvonne White's ginormous index cards, and I've never seen them that big here. So I thought I'd make my own. So I did. This is tracing paper that I printed on, and this is a leftover piece from another book I had done, and it's Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is also Victoria Design. A little bag that I created out of this really cheapo paper I got at Michael's. It was actually a book, and the paper was, I don't know, kind of good for stuff like this. So I just created it's from the Jelly Bean die, and then just a tag that I stamped on. And this here is those postcards you can get on the 12 by 12 sheet, and you cut them apart, that I bought at Hobby Lobby, long time ago. And the stamps are from Shirley, and all I wrote on here was, it's to Watson at 221B Baker Street, and it says, come at once if convenient. If not, come anyways. And I put SH for Sherlock Holmes. So this is the ephemera, and I mounted it on my paper here. And then I just did a flip out for that, as well as left it open so it will hold a tag. Oh, I've got to glue his head down again. So that's a cutout from the ephemera. We'll go this way so I don't decapitate him again. And some more tracing paper, more cutoffs. I like this page. I love the colors in this. And I like the way she made them like steampunk. It's kind of cool. And then I have these stamps that I didn't even realize I had them. So, mystery. I stamped out the British flag and then made a tuck spot. This is from Victoria Designs. And I put in a little booklet. Get your thumb in there, Cheryl. There you go. So this is downloads from there. And I backed it on some of my ephemera paper. And this wax piece was part of, somebody had sent me some Happy Mail, and this was on the envelope to the card they gave me, and I saved it. And then I thought, it's going to come in handy, I know it. And I just thought it was kind of cool. So then I cut these out, 221B. And there's another flip up here. And Watson, I mean, there's no Sherlock Holmes without Watson, so he had to go in there. And actually, the page is Dr. Watson, so I thought it was a pretty good spot to put it. More Tim Holtz. I love this stamp, quintessentially English. I think that's pretty appropriate. Some Tim Holtz tags and another sticker stamp from Shirley, Tim Holtz. Then this some layering here. So this is from the kit. There's actually 3 that I didn't use, or 3 I think, that I didn't use. So you get 5 I think in total of the little tags. But I kind of ran out of room. So I used one for layering. I used another one. I cut it out actually for the image. So then there's the little clock and the pipe. And I downloaded this from Victoria Designs, and it's actually a tea bag holder. But I didn't glue it together. I just closed it so that you could actually journal on the whole thing. And it holds together quite nicely, so I didn't think I needed to. And it says, let's have a cup of steamy hot tea, is what the stamp says. It took me forever to figure that out. I'm like, it's kind of hard to read in the round. And then this one I just backed on one of the index cards I had made, put a thumbprint on it. This has the the ribbon, acetate ribbon. And I've told people that like lots of times, because when you get it, it comes in this little round thing. Well, when you take it out, it's like super boing, and it doesn't flatten. So you just take your heat gun and you heat it up a little bit, and it just flattens right out. Another bag that I made, and another tag that I put in there. That's actually my new stamp. I really like that one. I love damask. And then the other cutout I put on the back of another index card, but left it rectangular shape this time. I hope it's all on camera. Okay, so I used a little Tim Holtz paper clip, and then there's another sheet. This one I did tea stain. So I did an experiment. I wanted to see if I printed in black and white on my printer, could I coffee stain it? Yep, I did, and it didn't run. I mean, I didn't soak it. I sprayed it with a spray bottle, but hey, it worked. It worked great. It didn't smear at all. And this one is from Scandal in Bohemia, Chapter 1. So, extra place to write. And then I just put the little paper clip there. Like I said, it's not a frou-frou book, so I wasn't going to make fancy paper clips. This here is from Victoria Designs, and I just put eyelets in all of them and then used one of the, I guess it's like a safety pin, the Tim Holtz safety pin, just to hold it together. And this was from another paper pad I had, and just to create a belly band. More Tim Holtz stamps. These are also Tim Holtz stamps. So is that one. This one, I don't know. I've got it written down somewhere, but, or at least I think I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Another flip up here. And these are from a sheet, and these are Kristie Art. So this is all that you get when you download this particular one. It's kind of steampunky. So I've had the opportunity to use it. And I used my little alphas, you know, that you get at Michael's, just to print out the games afoot. More tissue. So you can see it's definitely a journal. There's tons of places to write. I mean, you can write it on the tissue as well. Not tissue. I always call it that. Tracing paper. And then this one is, again, but I use the British stamp on that. And this piece is ephemera from the kit, but this is from a paper pad I had. And another flip up. This is from the kit. More cutoffs. I really like this paper set. And then a Tim Holtz stamp. That's it. Fingerprint. And that's the book. So she's a little chunky, but I think it turned out pretty good. At least, you know, it turned out the way I wanted it. Let's say that. I didn't want to do a real feminine. I just did one, right? So I wanted to switch it up and do something a little bit different, a little bit more grungy. And yeah, so anyways, that's my book. Hope you like it. Leave a comment, thumbs up if you like it, and we'll talk soon. Bye.